visionary, execution, excellence with a proven track record in leading multinational companies make him stand out as a professional. He was recruited from campus to lead operations in Western region for Cadbury. Post that, he has been the supply chain head for Pernod Ricard, the national head for planning in YUM, and AVP for PepsiCo. Currently, he is the associate director with Oxford University Press. His core competencies encompass operations, sales, and marketing, and of course, people management. May I request Shri Siddhartha Roy to kindly focus on quality of publishing and its impact on education and research. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Siddhartha Roy.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. So I was just having a discussion with Danish just few minutes before, and I was just thinking what I am doing here. So among such talented people. So, but then I thought that maybe I play a role, and I thought then that my role is here to bring the artist, the art and culture, and the people together. And that's my role. That is the role I play as a publisher, right? So when I was discussing with Danish, I thought that he calls himself a storyteller. And it completely gels with what I do. So the most ancient form of storytelling, publishing was storytelling. So when we did not have books or we did not have anything to write upon, so people used to tell stories, share their experience. And that is how it got produced and reproduced, retold to everybody, and that is how it spread at that point of time. And that is what Danish is doing. And he had, so I was completely like, his control over languages, his control over our art and culture is much more than basically, I think what I have done or I have in me. So I'm from a different background. I'm an engineer by force maybe, not by choice. So, and I also did my MBA. So basically it's completely a different ball game. So I'll start, so today's, the words like mystic and Kalinga when chosen and woven carefully conveys a beautiful and powerful image of assimilation of wisdom and confluence of the connoisseur of literature, art, and peace across the world. A very good afternoon to all the distinguished guests who became part of my extended family on this wonderful evening. I'm thankful to the organizers and feel extremely honored representing the brand Oxford University Press, which has stood the test of time, serving you over a century now in India. So the first office of Oxford University Press in India was set in 1912. So we are actually more than 106 years old in India. OUP is honored for being the knowledge partner for the Festival of Verse, Music, Dance, and Discussion of the Pandits of Art and Culture. So I and my team, completely we are honored that we can actually encourage this platform. We have become a knowledge partner just because that we want to encourage art and culture of India. And as a regional head, I completely endorse this, that we want to continue this relationship. Publishing is a field of making information available to the public at large. Prior to printing, script wrote and copied manually works of poets and authors. The first book was published in Oxford in 1478. So this was in a form of a book. So just 2 years after Caxton set up the first printing press. So the first printing press was set somewhere around 1468-70. However, there was no formal university press during that time. In 1586, the University of Oxford got the right to print books and was reorganized in a decree from the Star Chamber. This was enhanced in the great charter secured by Archbishop Laud from King Charles I, which entitled the university to print all manners of books. So it was in the year 1586 when we first started as a university press and we got the rights to print all manners of books. So we are into, as I tell you, we are into school publishing, we are into higher education publishing, we are into academic or research-oriented journals. We also publish journals and research books. So, thank you. So delegates were first appointed by the university to oversee this process in 1633. Minutes of their deliberations are recorded dating back to 1668. The structure of Oxford University Press, as it exists today, began to develop in a recognizable form from that time. So our structure, whatever structure we have it from that day, that period. So it is still the same. So the Vice-Chancellor of Oxford University, she actually is the boss of everybody here. And then there is a delegate, there are a group of delegates. And then there is the CEO who runs Oxford University Press. It's like a revenue arm to the university. And whatever money we generate from 50 odd countries, actually it is plowed back and it is used to sponsor students, needy students and research work. So that is how we use our money, whatever we generate through trading of books. From the late 1800s, OUP began to expand significantly, opening the first overseas OUP office in New York in 1896. 1912 was historical as OUP opened its first office in India. And we still have that office, so it's just next to Taj Palace Hotel. So there is a structure, if you see, that was our office. We sold it to Tata during that point of time. Publishing includes the following stages: acquisition of content, copy editing, production, printing, marketing, and distribution. We have ensured almost Six Sigma efficiency with discipline in reviewing and improving standard practices to adapt to changes in time and technology. We currently publish more than 6,000 fresh titles in a year worldwide. English language teaching, so our range includes dictionaries. So I know there would be hardly any house which does not have an Oxford dictionary. And we generally add more than few thousand words every year, new words from different countries. We have added word from Hindi, from a lot of Indian languages, Tamil also, in our Oxford dictionary. We also have, so our range also includes English language teaching materials, children's books, journals, scholarly monographs, printed music, higher education textbook, and school books. Many of these titles are created specifically for local markets and are published by our regional publishing branch. We sell more than 110 million units every year. And we, just to tell you that we also have an Odia dictionary as well as an Odia atlas. And there are in academic, we also publish in Odia. So wherever we operate, we actually also try to publish regional books and in regional languages. We take pride in our publications winning prizes and awards regularly at national and international level. We also look beyond traditional publishing to develop new ways of supporting our customer. Just a few examples include offering support to teachers and authors, delivering digital learning and assessment platforms, creating online research tools, providing freely available digital language resources to all. OUP, following an age-old practice, have announced toxic as our word of the year 2018, a word or expression chosen to reflect the passing year in language. Alongside its literal sense, data shows that this term is used to describe workplaces, schools, relationships, cultures, and stress. For me, toxic is anything harmful, and I feel strongly that as far as the publishing industry is concerned, anything which are published affecting quality of grammar, spelling, incorrect information, copyright violations are toxic publication. It is toxic as it affects our intellect adversely, plays with our children's future with wrong information, leads to a society where creativity, thoughts, creative rights, and ability to think and express on its own. Today's platform here is important as it comprises of dignitaries like all of you who values originality of content and gives due credit to any work that has inspired you all. So quality of publishing and its impact on education and research today is of paramount importance. It has become all the more important because if you don't invest in quality, so what we have in India, actually we don't have in any other countries. In any other country, there is a price that you pay for quality, and you know when you pay that price, you get that quality. In India, after paying a lot of money or the genuine price, we don't get that quality. So that is where the uncertainty in quality is there in India. And it is the people here, and I think the outside world, it is our role and responsibility to pay adequate amount of price and get the right quality. It is balancing, so a quality publishing, I will say, is balancing the science and art of this crucial trade. Science stands for dedication in research, understanding the need of the customer, adopting the right techniques, tools, and technology. Art is combining all of these in right proportion in a timely manner to inform, educate, and entertain the customer. There is an interesting debate that has bothered quality-conscious publishers across the world. Is learning from more books better, or from few books prepared with better research, using right pedagogy? What is a more efficient system or practice of effective education? Swami Vivekananda said, education is not the amount of information that is put into your brains and runs a riot there, undigested all your life. It's about having an impact in simple manner so that it becomes integral part to your being. It becomes us. And that is what good quality publisher aim for nowadays. And there are very few. So in India, I will just give you few facts. There are around 1 lakh publishers. Okay. And similarly, so there are like more, so that day I got a quote that there are more directors than actors. Okay. So everybody wants to be a director. Nobody wants to be a good actor. Similarly, everybody wants to publish. There are few authors. And without authors, I don't think there can be quality publishers. So to quote an example from our practices, we have eminent scholars conducting research about the social context, the environment in which they are growing up, their cultures, and the influence of English language in their day-to-day life, to create a pedagogy that will help them to learn faster and better. So in our publishing, we can vouch that we actually do a 6 Sigma level of editing, and so that the mistakes in our publishing is rare and few. And that cannot be said about all the 1 lakh publishers that we have. So everybody commits mistake, or there are errors in editing or publishing. But the quality conscious publishers, the MNC publishers, the publishers who has a quality standard or a procedure, I think the errors are very few. And that is very important for anybody who is learning from the books that we publish. We prepare, rewrite, and copy edit to improve readability. We have multiple measures to detect and correct errors. We are careful in allocating print space for story, text, photos, and illustration. Using knowledge of layout principles, facts, dates, and statistics are verified using standard reference sources. Our focus is to meet the change in need for education with time and technology. Our aim is to adhere to legal, commercial, and educational needs of customers without compromising on our ethics and quality. That is the reason Oxford University Press has stood the test of time and have earned respect and love of all of you. We are more than 500-year-old company in the world, and we are more than 106 years in India. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Roy, for the association, for all the good words and motivation, and for the informative address. Moving on to our next session, that is going to be quite divine and godly, because the best of the scholars, poets, are going to read